I grabbed her gun from under the mattress, and she just, she was trying to come up. I shot, man. I couldn't get her, baby. I'm 58 pounds. Stop.
She was a devoted mother, a beloved daughter, and a pillar in her community. A woman who spent her life lifting others up through faith and love. But on a quiet October night, inside the home she shared with the man she called her fiancé.
A Warrensville Heights man convicted of killing his fiancée will serve 24 years to life in prison.
Amanda Williams' life was stolen in a storm of bullets. He claimed it was self-defense. Her family called it murder. And what unfolded next would expose years of hidden abuse, ignite a community's outrage,
Justice for Amanda!
And lead to a courtroom battle where the line between love and terror was finally shattered forever. This wasn't just a tragic domestic dispute. This was the violent climax of a hidden nightmare. For years, Amanda's radiant smile masked the pain of manipulation, control, and fear behind closed doors.
Hello, everybody. It's me, Amanda the stylist.
But when she tried to break free, the man she trusted most turned deadly. What unfolded next, his chilling 911 call, the haunting video evidence, and a desperate fight for justice, would reveal a story far darker than anyone could have imagined. Amanda Williams was born in April 1977 in Cleveland, Ohio. As the firstborn of 2 children, she shared a special bond with her younger brother, Joe Lewis.
Man, she was special. My sister did everything right in life,
Whom she cherished as though he were her own child. Raised in a large, close-knit family, Amanda was surrounded by love and faith, qualities that shaped her character from an early age. She was a woman whose vibrant spirit and determination left a lasting impact on those around her. Deeply rooted in her community, Amanda was a proud member of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority and found spiritual guidance and belonging at the Word Church in Warrensville Heights, where her faith blossomed alongside a supportive congregation.
Today, jury selection began for the man charged in the death of 46-year-old Amanda Williams in Warrensville Heights.
Amanda's role as a mother and grandmother brought her immeasurable joy. She lovingly raised 2 children, Tyler Williams and Tristan Bentley, and adored her grandchildren, embracing these roles with a fierce devotion and pride. In her professional life, Amanda was a respected hairstylist who turned her passion into a thriving career. After earning her cosmetology license in Ohio, she built a reputation in Warrensville Heights, where her salon became a space of empowerment and transformation. Over the course of more than 25 years, she mentored others in her craft, using beauty as a tool to uplift women and foster confidence. In 2023, she fulfilled a lifelong dream when she opened A La Mode Styles Salon in University Heights, Cleveland, marking a pinnacle achievement in her career. Yet beneath Amanda's public life of joy and accomplishment, darker struggles lingered behind closed doors.
She came back upstairs with the knife, so I recorded her again. She grabbed the phone out my hand while I'm trying to record and took the knife and poked the screen and pushed the screen on the phone.
On social media, she projected a life filled with positivity, sharing uplifting messages about growth and resilience. But within her private world, Amanda grappled with a troubled relationship. For 6 years, she was romantically involved with Terrell Edwards, a man who juggled 2 jobs as a hospital worker and a part-time Walmart driver, and had 3 minor children from previous relationships. Together, they lived in Warrensville Heights, sharing what seemed to be a life of shared happiness, marked by romantic dinners, family celebrations, and memorable trips. However, behind the carefully curated images of happiness, a more sinister reality began to surface. Police and court documents revealed Terrell Edwards' troubling history. In 2019, he was arrested for assaulting Amanda during a domestic dispute.
While the prosecution is asserting murder, Edwards is claiming self-defense.
Though the complete details remain sealed under Ohio's privacy protections for domestic violence cases, the arrest served as a grim marker of violence in their relationship. Amanda, torn by fear and love, confided in her family and friends about the abuse she endured, but, like many survivors, wrestled with the terrifying uncertainty of leaving an abusive partner. Friends and family spoke of Amanda's courage as she worked toward her escape. She was aware, as countless experts have warned, that the period when a survivor attempts to leave an abusive relationship is often the most dangerous.
I can't never call my mom again and tell her I love her. I can't never call and tell her about my day.
Amanda was walking a fragile line between hope and danger, trying to reclaim her life and safety. What began as a seemingly ordinary love story was teetering on the edge of tragedy, a fact Amanda herself understood far too well. The tragic end to Amanda Williams' personal struggles unfolded late on the night of October 9th, 2023, inside the home she shared with her fiancé, Tyrell Edwards, in Warrensville Heights. What had once been a place of family gatherings and quiet moments of joy became the setting for a devastating crime. Shortly before midnight, Edwards made a chilling call to Warrensville Heights police, calmly confessing that he had killed his fiancée.
I grabbed her gun over the message, and she was trying to come up. I shot.
Police officers rushed to their home on Sunset Drive near the intersection of Midway Avenue. What they found was a horrific scene: Amanda Williams suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. First responders acted quickly, transporting her to a nearby Cleveland hospital in a desperate attempt to save her life. But despite their efforts, Amanda was pronounced dead shortly after arrival, her vibrant life cut short in an act of violence that left her family and friends broken and searching for answers. In the immediate aftermath, police arrested a person of interest, Tyrell Edwards. The man whose life had been intertwined with Amanda's for years was now at the center of the investigation.
Tyrell Edwards faces several charges, including aggravated murder and felonious assault. In October of last year, Edwards allegedly called 911.
Yet within 48 hours, Tyrell was released from custody. He claimed he had acted in self-defense, invoking Ohio's Stand Your Ground law, which allows individuals to use deadly force when they believe they are facing an imminent threat, without a duty to retreat. His claims stunned the community, leaving many in disbelief and fueling outrage among those who knew the years of abuse Amanda had endured. As Edwards walked free, Amanda's family, friends, and supporters raised their voices, demanding justice. They spoke out about the years of abuse and manipulation Amanda had suffered at Tyrell's hands, years of violence that they feared were being overlooked. Her pastor, Dr. R.A. Vernon, became one of the most vocal advocates for Amanda, publicly condemning the killing as the tragic end to a long pattern of domestic abuse. The evidence is pictures of him beating the hell out of her, literally. Text messages saying, "I'm sorry I kicked you in the face," Vernon declared, laying bare the brutal reality Amanda lived behind the facade of a happy relationship. Despite the horrifying evidence of past abuse, authorities initially did not have the complete picture of what had happened that night. Supporters of Amanda's family held on to hope that additional evidence would emerge, evidence that would paint the full story of what led to her murder. They believed the truth of Amanda's suffering and strength, so long hidden behind closed doors, would finally come to light. The fight for justice was far from over. At that critical time, Warrensville Heights police issued a plea to the public, urging anyone with information about Amanda's death to come forward. Investigators sought to piece together the missing fragments of that fateful night. Friends, family, and community leaders remained determined, praying that Amanda's story would not end in silence.
Today, the jury was able to watch cell phone video of the moment Tyrell Edwards shot and killed 46-year-old Amanda Williams.
The pursuit of justice had only just begun. "We're asking that you let the evidence speak and see a clear pattern of abuse and manipulation," pleaded Dr. Vernon, echoing the cries of a grieving community that refused to let Amanda's death be reduced to a misunderstanding. Amanda's family, church members, and community supporters came together, unified in their fight for justice. With unwavering determination, they marched into the police headquarters, armed with new evidence, proof they hoped would finally expose the years of suffering Amanda endured. For them, this was not just a murder case, it was a battle for the truth of a woman's life and legacy. As public pressure mounted, investigators pressed forward. On the afternoon of Thursday, November 2nd, a clear turning point came. Prosecutor Michael O'Malley made a powerful statement to the public, leaving no room for doubt. A thorough investigation and review of this case led us to the unmistakable conclusion that the death of Amanda Williams was an intentional homicide without justification, he announced. That same day, a grand jury of Cuyahoga County citizens reviewed the evidence and reached the same chilling conclusion. They voted to indict Terrell Edwards for Amanda's murder. Prosecutor O'Malley urged Edwards to surrender to authorities without delay.
The state's evidence against self-defense is the defendant's lack of credibility.
The following morning, Edwards turned himself in. The surrender marked a critical moment in the case. Dr. Vernon credited their collective efforts and public demonstrations for forcing action. We made people take us serious, including Prosecutor O'Malley, that the weight of that ministry could have made some real noise that justice wasn't served, Vernon reflected. In the eyes of Amanda's loved ones, their voices had finally been heard. Their persistence had brought them one step closer to the justice they sought for Amanda. Later that month, the grand jury's indictment was revealed in full. Terrell Edwards was charged with aggravated murder, felonious assault, and domestic violence. Prosecutors rejected his claims of self-defense, pointing instead to a chilling conclusion. Amanda's death was not a moment of fear or panic, but one of prior calculation and design. Authorities said Terrell shot Amanda 6 times in the bedroom of their Warrensville Heights home. Then, in the aftermath, he called police, framing the murder as an act of protection. Assistant Cuyahoga County Prosecutor Kevin Filiatrott made it clear that the defense's argument did not match the evidence. It's our belief that the self-defense claim was part and parcel with the prior calculation and design in this case, Filiatrott stated. Supporting this, Ian Friedman, the attorney representing Amanda's family, addressed the court with conviction. There was a pattern of abuse leading up to this, Friedman said, emphasizing that Amanda's killing was not spontaneous but the violent conclusion of years of manipulation and harm. At Terrell's first appearance in Cuyahoga County Court, the weight of the charges was undeniable. Edwards, appearing via video feed from jail, remained silent as his attorney, Andy Petropoulias, entered a plea of not guilty on his behalf. Judge John Russo, recognizing the danger Edwards posed and respecting the fears voiced by Amanda's grieving family, set his bond at $1 million. The courtroom fell into a tense stillness as the magnitude of Amanda's loss and the fight for justice filled the space. On Friday, March 1, 2024, Terrell Edwards took the witness stand to tell his side of the story. In a calm yet defensive tone, he described the events of October 9, 2023. According to Terrell, Amanda had lunged at him with a knife that night, forcing him to defend himself. When his defense attorney, Andy Petropoulias, asked how he would describe their relationship, Terrell claimed, "I'd describe it as being pretty good," a stark contrast to the dark narrative painted by the prosecution and Amanda's family. Earlier that day, the couple had exchanged tense text messages, which were shared with the court. Terrell accused Amanda of lying about not receiving his messages and testified that she had disconnected his phone service, heightening the tension between them. Despite the earlier arguments, Terrell claimed that when they were both home later that evening, he had put their disagreements behind him. But according to his testimony, Amanda had not. He said she asked him to leave their shared home, and in his words, "Something just wasn't right to me, with her." Edwards told the court that Amanda's demeanor unsettled him. He described her eyes as red and bloodshot, claiming it looked as though she had a demon in her eyes. He testified that he tried to calm her by holding his Bible to her chest, but she knocked it away. Despite her repeated request that he leave, Terrell remained in the house. That's when, according to his version of events, Amanda warned him ominously, "If you do stay here tonight, you're gonna have to sleep with one eye open." Instead of leaving, Terrell said he became concerned she might reach for the guns he kept on the nightstand, so he removed the firearms and placed them in his car. Prosecutors countered that he could have left the home entirely, taking his work badge and clothes with him, but chose not to. Terrell claimed that after placing the guns in his car, he heard Amanda upstairs, seemingly on the phone with the police. He would later learn she didn't dial 911, but instead dialed 9221. According to his testimony, this prompted him to begin packing his things to leave. But then, he alleged, Amanda came upstairs holding a knife. Tyrrell pulled out his phone and began recording the confrontation.
You gonna stab me?
I'm going to defend myself.
Defend yourself from what?
I'm going to defend myself.
You acting violent? There you go. See?
In one video played in court, Tyrrell asked Amanda, "You gonna stab me?" To which she replied, "I'm going to defend myself." He testified that Amanda then rushed toward him with the knife, though the video showed her placing it on a ledge in the hallway. Edwards claimed he couldn't clearly remember what happened next, but believed she must have gone back for the knife. The confrontation escalated in the bedroom. Tyrrell testified that Amanda was holding the knife when she snatched his phone from him. Believing she had stabbed him, he said he jumped across the bed. He then described reaching under the mattress, where Amanda kept her own firearm. "I remember getting up and I thought that I shot her," he testified. When asked why he pulled the trigger, Edwards replied simply, "Because she was coming at me with the knife."
Never tells her he has a gun and doesn't warn her that he's going to shoot her. They also say that while Edwards is near the headboard of the bed grabbing the gun from under the mattress, Williams is several feet away.
But during cross-examination, the details shifted. The third video recorded that night was played for the jury. In the footage, while unclear visually, the audio captured what sounded like Amanda stabbing the phone, followed just seconds later by the deafening sound of gunshots. Prosecutor Kevin Filiatrott pressed Tyrrell on the sequence of events. "Did you hear those 6 sounds? That was her hitting the phone, wasn't it?" Tyrrell answered, "Yes." Filiatrott followed up, "You've got her gun already, correct?" Tyrrell confirmed, "Correct." Edwards testified that he fired the gun 4 or 5 times while jumping back, claiming it was to protect himself. After Amanda fell silent, he believed she was dead. At that moment, Amanda's adult daughter, Tyler Williams, came upstairs to see what had happened. Tyrrell admitted he blocked her from entering the room and told her to call 911. He became emotional on the stand, claiming, "I didn't want Tyler to be traumatized." But Tyler had already testified. Through tears, she told the jury that Tyrrell had locked her out, preventing her from comforting or helping her mother. "I was not able to help my mom, hold her, nothing, because he wouldn't let me," she said. Tyrrell, facing the courtroom, told the jury, "I had no choice." On March 11th, the long-awaited verdict was delivered. A jury found 42-year-old Tyrrell Edwards guilty of 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of felonious assault, and 1 count of domestic violence. The courtroom fell silent as Amanda Williams' family faced the man who stole her life. Moments later, the silence broke with raw, gut-wrenching impact statements from Amanda's loved ones. After their heartbreaking words echoed through the courtroom, Tyrrell was sentenced to life in prison. Under the sentence, he would be eligible for parole only after serving 24 years. The jury, however, found him not guilty of aggravated murder, a charge that accused him of killing Amanda with prior calculation and design. In the aftermath of the sentencing, Amanda's mother and 2 siblings took a moment to thank those who had fought beside them in their search for justice. They expressed gratitude to Cuyahoga County Prosecutor Michael O'Malley and his office for their relentless pursuit of the truth. They also thanked Dr. R.A. Vernon from the Word Church, whose leadership had mobilized Amanda's supporters, creating public pressure that helped bring Tyrrell to justice after the shooting. Standing before reporters, Prosecutor O'Malley reflected on the bittersweet nature of the outcome. "While we're satisfied with the verdict, we would much rather have Amanda back and be standing here," he said. Throughout the trial, Edwards clung to his story of self-defense, testifying that Amanda lunged at him with a butcher knife, leaving him no choice but to shoot. But the jury rejected his claims, seeing through the contradictions. Prosecutors argued that the fatal shooting happened around 11:30 p.m. on October 9, 2023, in Amanda's home on Sunset Drive. According to their case, the killing followed a tense day in which Amanda tried to end their relationship after Tyrrell grew angry over her not responding to his texts that morning. What began as a dispute over missed messages had spiraled into deadly violence. The evidence told a story of premeditation and opportunity. Prosecutors said that as the fight escalated, Amanda picked up a butcher knife and a long-necked lighter, telling Tyrrell to leave her home. Instead of leaving, Terrell began recording her with his cell phone. He removed his 2 guns from the house and placed them in his car, but rather than drive away, he returned to the home. Once back inside, he grabbed Amanda's gun and started recording again. A shaky, chilling video captured the sounds of the confrontation and the unmistakable gunshots that followed. Assistant Prosecutor Kevin Filiatrott dismantled Terrell's defense, pointing to his conflicting stories. Terrell initially told police that he removed the guns to avoid using them on Amanda, but the next day, he changed his account, claiming Amanda was holding him hostage and he feared she would use the weapons against him. Filiatrott reminded the court that at no point in the recordings did Terrell attempt to de-escalate the situation. Never once in that video did he say, "I've got your gun, please stop," Filiatrott emphasized. He had an opportunity and he killed this woman. For that, severe punishment is needed. As the sentencing hearing closed, Amanda's family poured out their grief. Her daughter, Tyler Williams, who had been in the home with her 4-year-old daughter during the shooting, sobbed as she described the lifelong hole left in their family. "How can I ever explain to my daughter that her grandmother is never coming back?" she asked through tears. Amanda's brother Joe spoke of his sister's kindness and generosity. "Man, she was special. My sister did everything right in life," he said. Attorney Ian Friedman read a statement from Amanda's adult son, Tristan Bentley, whose voice broke through the courtroom silence. With her being such a family-oriented person, holidays were very important. Now holidays just have an empty void without her being a light in the room, Friedman read, capturing the unbearable loss they would carry forward. What are your thoughts about this tragic story? Do you think Terrell is innocent, or was his action premeditated murder? Please share your thoughts in the comments below and give this video a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel and like the content, please subscribe and hit the notification bell for upcoming episodes. Your support is greatly appreciated. Until next time, I will see you on Urban Crime Stories.